Our National Park Partnership Plan is our vision for Loch Lomond and Trossachs National Park. It's the document that sets out all our outcomes and priorities for conservation and land use, rural development and visitor experience over the next 5 years. And we've been working to look at what progress we've been making in the first year of delivery. There's over 70 partners involved in the plan. It's a plan for the place and we rely on partnership working to deliver all of the priorities that are in there. Here's a brief update on what's been happening. 4 indicators of success are performing above target. 79% of new houses built in the National Park this year were affordable, which is significantly above our 25% target. A further 147 affordable homes are also in the pipeline. The number of people volunteering with us also rose from 172 to 212, smashing through our 5-year target in just 1 year. Self-catering accommodation is on the increase and spend in the food and drink sector continues to grow, so it's no surprise that we have seen a year-on-year increase in the overall value of our visitor economy. 45 community identified projects were also delivered in 2018-19, ranging from events and festivals to helping remove invasive non-native species. A range of assets have also been brought into community ownership or control this year, including a hydro scheme, a post office, green spaces and a shop and cafe. Our indicators of success on peatland restoration and outdoor learning were also progressing as expected. Our targets are ambitious and we're really pleased with progress so far. With it being the first year of the plan, obviously some areas of work are in development, so while we're delighted to see progress already in some indicators, some things take a little longer to get going and we're really confident of seeing a lot more progress in the second year. So the challenges we have are with 4 indicators where we're performing a bit below target. So we're looking to have a call to action to our partners because we feel we can take more action to improve how we're delivering on those 4 areas.
Probably some of the most fundamental kind of shifts in our understanding of our climate and nature across the earth have really come into sharp focus over the past year, and a climate emergency has now been declared. Scotland was one of the first countries to do that. So really that's about hugely focusing our activity to challenge what we want to do about climate. And that matters because in the park, certainly what we can do in relation to the health of nature is if we have a healthy nature, it helps to make sure we have a healthy climate as well. So the 4 key challenges remaining, 3 of them are about the natural environment, one of them is really about kind of transporting people. So the first one in the natural environment is about woodland expansion, woodland creation. Trees and forests and woodlands are hugely important in the national park. They're one of our most amazing sort of sources of natural capital and timber and jobs and wildlife and recreation, but critically they also lock up huge amounts of carbon, and we need to do that if we're to help fight climate emergency. Well, we've got a target over 5 years to create 2,000 hectares more of new forest and woodlands in the park and natural regeneration, so that's about 2,000 football pitches or rugby pitches. To date this year we've created about 250 hectares as such, so there's still a long way to go, but we've also done a lot of work in sort of laying the foundations of being able to hit that target. So the second key challenge that we have based around the kind of natural environment is to do about designated sites, about the status of designated sites. Designated sites are basically the sort of the jewels in the crown of our protected areas. These are sites of special scientific interest or special areas of conservation, etc. And they are the best of nature. But they face challenges and they face threat because things like overgrazing by deer or sheep or spread of invasive non-native species can kind of threaten the status of a designated site. So what we'd like to do is move from about 76% of our designated sites up to 80% in favourable condition. Our water quality is really, really important here for everything that it brings for the park and a whole variety of reasons. So what we want to do is tackle some of those problems, working with partners, particularly in SEPA, to make sure that we can deal with pollution and we can deal with land use, runoff, etc., to make sure that our water is as clean and healthy as it can to get it into good ecological condition. We want to move from 44% to 59% of water bodies being in good ecological status. Still a long way to go, but we're determined we want to make a real positive impact on that. But the last remaining challenge is about people and transport, really. We know that we're still very car and vehicle dependent in the National Park. The vast majority of people come here by car, travel around by car. If you live in the park, if you work in the park, you're most likely to use a car. And to really tackle the climate emergency, we need to tackle that head on and make sure that we find ways that people can move around using active travel and more sustainable public transport. So water buses, by train, by bus, and active travel, more cycling and walking, which has good health benefits as well as reducing the carbon footprint that we create as a result of moving around. So the last challenge is really a big one, a huge one actually. It's about how everybody can make that big behaviour shift and try and lose the emphasis around cars and vehicles. We'll be going to be meeting with all of our partners here in the park, so the Park Authority, many of our public bodies, our local communities, etc. And really come together, I suppose, to focus on what's worked well. We can celebrate the success that we've seen to date. It's early days, but we can celebrate that. But to really focus on the 4 key asks that we've got, the calls to action that we've got.